Independent retail business can mean so many things these days. A brick and mortar store, an e-commerce business, a maker's online shop, a booth at an antique mall, and more. No matter which category you're in, Kathy Cruz, a fellow retail business owner and retail educator, will teach you how to market and manage your business efficiently so you can spend time doing other things you love. Welcome to the Savvy Shopkeeper Podcast.
Welcome to episode 85 of the Savvy Shopkeeper Retail Podcast, How to Embrace the #1 social media trend, video. I'm your host, Kathy Cruz. My intention for this episode is pretty simple. I think I say that all the time though, right? I actually really try to make things simple. But this one is to just lessen the fear around using video on social media. And hopefully this episode will inspire you to get started because this trend, it's not going away. First, I want to start off, I guess, kind of with a shopkeeper shout out. I want to read a review that someone left me recently, but I don't know who it was left by. I think the username was kind of jumbled and I'm not sure who it is. So if it's you, please reach out to me and let you know. I will be sure to mention you in a future episode. But it was a 5-star review and I'm really grateful for it. So I wanted to make sure that I read what it said because it's important. It was titled, Relatable and Easy to Understand. The reviewer said, I binge listen when I get a chance and there's always a big aha moment during an episode. Most recent was about omnichannel. I thought I knew what that meant and after listening to that episode realized I was very wrong. But now, not only do I know what it means, I understand it. The information is said in a way that every business owner can understand, and it's not talking over our heads. Thank you for giving us such valuable information that we can use. So again, whoever the reviewer is, please let me know it was you. I'm happy to mention you. This one was really important to me, and I appreciate it. Because it's exactly what I try to do. It's what I try to do in the lab when I teach master classes and Master Shopkeepers, and when I record these 20-minute-ish episodes. It's exactly what I wished for 8 or 9 years ago when I started this journey. So thank you for saying that. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad you liked that lesson. That lesson was actually a lesson I taught live in the Shopkeepers Lab. And we turned the audio from that video lesson into a podcast episode. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. Okay, let's get started on this episode. This episode is actually inspired by Kathy, who's the owner of Pineapple on Main in Pennsylvania, and Karen, who is one of the co-owners of Olive Place, that's ALLUV, Olive Place in California. Both of these lovely ladies are Master Shopkeepers members. So Kathy in the group recently posted a video link in Master Shopkeepers where the founder of Instagram recently recorded a video and shared it on Instagram, of course. And he announced, we're no longer just a Square photo sharing app. Oh boy. This post by Kathy, and I don't mean that in a bad way or negative against Kathy. It's just that this post really sparked a lengthy conversation in our group. It was great. I love those lengthy conversations. I love when it just kind of spirals into like 100 different comments and everyone's engaging. We'll be sure to link the video where the founder of Instagram shared this announcement. We'll link that in our show notes for episode 85. But essentially, it started as a conversation about staying true to your brand. And that was a conversation about Instagram shifting from a photo sharing app to a video app. And the conversation kind of started with the tones that it was suggesting that maybe Instagram is going to be shooting themselves in the foot for shifting from being a photo sharing app into a video app. And then this part of the conversation spiraled into another conversation about using video for business. How so many of us will have to pivot our strategies due to this video trend. And then there's TikTok and how uncomfortable this is for so many retailers. Shopkeepers across the country are expanding and opening up new locations by partnering with Honeycomb, Forward-thinking entrepreneurs like you that created your business for your consumers are unlocking much-needed funding by allowing your community and superfans to invest directly into your growth. To learn more about how community capital can help you open your next location while embracing your ability to market your brand and increase consumer engagement, visit honeycombcredit.com/brand. That's honeycombcredit.com/brand. Part of the long string of comments during this conversation was one that struck me. It was filled with tough love, and it's probably the nudge that many retailers need. So I actually want to share the comment word for word. This was a comment by Karen, who I mentioned earlier. She said, "Okay, I am going to be the tough love in the room. I have been doing video for about 8 years. It's hard, and I don't usually love it, but it gets easier actually stepping in front of it and doing it the more you do it. It truly is a muscle you have to strengthen every week." Every week, she said again. Let me say this again. Every week. If you are not going live, doing a reel, a TikTok, some connection on video, every week, you are not fully serving your customers. Your customers want to know you, your staff, your story. You cannot convey your you through pictures alone. The know, like, and trust factor is far easier to get across through video. Like it or not, social media favors the video. Download your live, edit it, repurpose it for a story, a Pinterest story, a YouTube video. Hire someone to edit it if you don't want to do this, but do this and do it now. Remember, this is not about you. Truly, it is not. This is about how to serve your customers. Get out of your head what you think others think of you as you stammer through the first few times on video. What people may think of you is none of your business. Your business is to serve your customers, and video is the next best way to serve next to being in person. So go turn on that camera and put your face in it and start talking. That is all. And then Karen added a bunch of funny emojis. So what I really appreciated about this is there were a few things. The tough love aspect, because it's one thing listeners or group members tell me, is that I share some tough love on occasion and they appreciate it. So I appreciated that Karen shared some tough love because sometimes we need it, right? I appreciate so many of the valid points that Karen made here, including that video isn't going away. It was just important, and I could feel it in the tone and in the way she was expressing herself, how she felt strongly that so many of us as retailers need to focus on video. And I use the word need, and I try not to do that because I always try to say that you do what works for you. But if you have that feeling inside where you think video will help your business, you're just afraid to step into it, that's where this tough love comes into play. And then someone else commented and said, what Karen said. I'll never forget when someone said to me in a snarky, judgy tone, "You just love being on camera, don't you?" The implication was quite clear. My response, no, I actually hate it, but Facebook loves it, so I'm doing it. 3 months ago, I was not excited about Reels or TikTok. It felt like yet another thing on my growing to-do list, but the more I've done them, the more I've come to enjoy the creative process. That was another comment by another group member who was just validating what Karen had said. So I'm here today, hopefully with a quick episode that includes a list of tips to help you get started with video. So the first one is, your video doesn't have to be perfect. I promise you it doesn't. Plenty of mine have not been. I've still published. The world didn't end. Everything was great. We got a lot of views. We got people coming in the store. It all works out. The second tip is you don't have to appear on video each time, or maybe at all. You can record videos that are maybe you working, behind the scenes, but it doesn't even have to show your face. Or it could be tutorial videos. So many of us teach workshops or do things or teach, educational information where it doesn't always require us being on our faces being on camera. Tip number 3 is you don't need fancy equipment. Now, you can just take your phone and prop it up somewhere and press record. That's what I do in my store. Now, if you want a nice setup, by all means, go ahead and get it, but it's just not necessary. And if you buy some equipment for it, it's really not cost prohibitive. We'll go ahead and link in the show notes the equipment that I use with the tripod and the light ring for the times that I actually do want a little extra light in our store. But again, you don't need it. You don't need all of that. You just need your phone. Tip number 4 is you don't have to go live. As scary as that may be, you can actually record and then edit your videos. I edit some of my videos on the iMovie app right on my iPhone. The iMovie app is free. It was pretty easy to learn. I actually didn't even watch a tutorial. I just kind of followed the steps or followed the app. And I was able to figure it out. But I'm sure there are so many YouTube videos that you can watch that might be just like 10, 15 minutes that will teach you how to use an editing app. And the other option, if you don't want to go live, is to record. And if you want to delete it and then record again. I recently recorded like a little intro video for my YouTube channel for Savvy Shopkeeper. We started putting all of the podcast episodes on there, just in case someone uses YouTube and they want to listen. And I am pretty sure I recorded that, I don't know, it might be 90 seconds. I recorded that video probably a good 30 times and deleted, just kept deleting until I was happy with it. So that's an option. Tip number 5 is to consider repurposing content. So let's say you make one really long video and maybe that long video took you longer than you'd like or made you feel really uncomfortable and you think, okay, I don't want to record another video for a week. Maybe you can take that one video and turn it into 5 videos. The next tip is stop thinking it can't be fun. Video can actually be fun, even if you are perspiring. I often perspire when I record videos. But it can be fun, or you can make it fun, especially with Instagram Reels. If anything, if you want to be inspired about Instagram Reels, go watch Karen, who I mentioned is the co-owner of Olive Place. Her and her business partner have so much fun with Instagram Reels. Go follow them on Instagram. We will link their Instagram account in the show notes. And then another good person to follow for video inspiration and who does something completely different is Kathy of Pineapple on Main, who actually started this entire conversation. She actually goes live on Instagram in her, I don't know if it's in her stories or just like a general live, and she just has conversations with all of her followers. It's really laid back. It's very matter of fact. She shares about new products coming in. She might be sharing some information about what's going on in her life, what's going on in the store. Very casual, very comfortable, very easy to watch. Again, that's Pineapple on Main. The next tip is to go watch other accounts. I just gave you 2 to go follow. And if you really want to get inspired with TikTok, oh man, TikTok for me, I haven't started anything with TikTok other than creating an account so that I can, on occasion, just binge some funny videos because they make me laugh. And it's just a good kind of disconnect moment for me. I'll just spend 30 minutes watching TikTok videos. And some are really creative. Lots of talented people there. And when you start following other people and you start getting inspired, what you can do is start writing down a list of ideas for your own videos, TikTok videos, Instagram stories, Instagram Reels. No one says you have to take action now, but you can just start a list of ideas that you have. And then when you're ready to take the plunge, you're not wondering, what can I record? And then the last step I think that I have is to take steps to make it a habit. And habit formation is something I plan on talking about in a future episode. But until then, like Karen said, you want to create the video muscle. So what I find helps some people is to create some type of weekly feature on Instagram or on Facebook or on TikTok. Maybe it's a Feature Friday where you take 3 new items in your store and you feature them and you talk about them. Sometimes having an actual prompt, like something to actually talk about, can help you when recording videos rather than trying to come up with something to talk about every week. So again, get creative with it and start to build the muscle. I'm so excited to announce that Tundra is the official signature sponsor of the 2021 Savvy Shopkeeper Retreat. Tundra is an online wholesale marketplace for retailers and suppliers. What I really like about Tundra is that they eliminate transaction fees and markups. As a result, Tundra empowers us, both buyers and suppliers, to keep reinvesting in ourselves. As a store owner myself, I appreciate that ordering from Tundra keeps my store fresh with new, novel, and seasonal products. And if you didn't know, Tundra also offers a pro membership, so you save even more with free shipping site-wide. Ordering on Tundra saves us, retailers, time. We have one wholesale account to access thousands of brands and more than 1 million products. I'd like to give a special thank you to Tundra for sponsoring the Savvy Shopkeeper Retreat, an educational experience retailers won't forget in 2021. To learn more about Tundra, visit savvyshopkeeper.com/Tundra. That's T like Tom, UNDRA. And to learn more about the upcoming retreat, visit savvyshopkeeper.com/retreat. Now, Plan, PLANN, that's the app I personally use for social media. And they recently published an article for small businesses using video on Instagram. It's a pretty long article, but it's filled with some really good information. So I want to make sure that I mention it and that we link it in today's episode's show notes. For example, the article covers when to use stories versus reels, the dimensions for stories versus reels. They talk about the new video insights for Instagram and how to create multiple videos and pieces of content from one video. Again, there's so much in this article. And when it came into my feed or when it came into my email, I thought, like, how timely is that? Because I was getting ready to record this episode. So again, we will link that in the show notes. The website for Plan is actually called, the URL is planthat.com, PLANN, THAT.com. But we'll link the whole URL for the article in our show notes. So if you want more evidence about this video trend and that it's not going away, this is one more thing that I wanted to mention. I am coming up on the 2nd year anniversary of this podcast. I work really hard at keeping the content for all of the episodes fresh and unique and not repetitive. But video, it has become so important in social media marketing these days that I want to point out that I have a list of episodes that I've published over the past 2 years where I talk about using video for your retail business. Episode 3, one of the first 3 episodes I ever recorded, and one of the most popular episodes ever downloaded, it's titled An Instagram Blueprint for Shopkeepers. Now, I actually refer to video in that episode, but I knew I had so much to say about video that I didn't actually cover that topic in episode 3. But it is a really good introduction into Instagram for retail store owners or retail business owners. So if you want to go listen to that one, again, I mentioned video because I knew 2 years ago I would keep talking about it. Episode 3 is titled What Worked for Independent Retailers in 2019. Yep, video was one of the things that worked. Episode 23 is titled Get Creative with Selling Online. Now, this was an episode that I recorded soon after the pandemic hit, and I recorded a series of episodes helping retailers navigate the pandemic and being closed and how to sell when our stores were closed. And yes, I mentioned social media video as a way to sell for your store. The next episode was 45. It was a full episode just about Instagram Reels for retailers. Then there was episode 52, and that was 2021 retail trends. And in there, I talk about social selling. So all of those new software programs or services that offer selling your products through social media. That was episode 52. And then the last episode I want to mention is episode 60, what made 2020 successful for independent retailers. And again, it was video. Video was one of the things. And when I talk about the episodes, when I refer to the episodes that tell the stories of what worked for retailers, it's not in my opinion. I usually poll or do a survey and ask retailers what worked for them. And in both 2019 and 2020, video was huge. That's 6 episodes out of now 85 episodes, plus some bonus episodes, but 6 episodes where I talk about video. At least that I know of. There might be more. My point is, it's time. It's time to embrace video, and that actually means for me too. So I'm really happy to say that I recently hired a marketing assistant for Savvy Shopkeeper. Yes, I sure did, and I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am about this. I will share more about her soon, but for now, I'll just say this. By the end of this year, this is me asking you to hold me accountable. By the end of this year, you'll find me using video much more on Instagram. So make sure you go follow me there. My username is @SavvyShopkeeper because I'll be sharing many more tips, many stories, lots of reels, and all of it's going to be helpful information for retailers. Now, normally this is where I summarize the episode, but I think the message is clear that it's time to embrace video for your retail business. Tell me, are you in? I would love for you to DM me on Instagram. Tell me if you're going to try it. Tell me if you're thinking, heck no. Kathy, I don't care what you say to me. I'm not doing this. I would love to hear what you plan on doing regarding video for your retail business. If you want to see the show notes to this episode or find links to anything I mentioned, like the long list of related podcast episodes I just covered, visit my blog at savvyshopkeeper.com/episode 85. If you find this podcast helpful, if you know of a friend who's afraid to use video and they need a nudge, please share this episode with them or take the time to leave a rating and review. It usually only takes about 1 or 2 minutes at the most. All the reviews mean a ton to me. Until the next episode, be savvy and boss up.